Good morning. I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines. UPS has reached a tentative contract deal with the 340,000-person-strong Teamsters union yesterday, averting a strike that had the potential to disrupt shipping services nationwide for businesses and households alike. The two sides reached an agreement early on safety issues, including equipping more trucks with air conditioning equipment. Under the agreement, UPS said it would add air conditioning to U.S. small delivery vehicles purchased after January 1st, 2024. Feeder driver Jeff Testa is with the Teamsters Local 79 and said this will be a boon to part-time workers.
What sealed the deal is the wages for the part-time workers. The part-time workers at UPS work very hard. Their shifts are 3.5 to 5 hours. They handle a lot of packages. They'll load 3-4 package cars at a time, sometimes even more. They'll handle several hundred packages in that period of time, and they have to do it in a fast manner and get everything on the package cars properly. So they more than deserve the raise they got. It's been a long time coming, and we were glad to see them get what they deserved.
Ken Williams is a package car driver and the recording secretary for the Local 79 and said the deal will now go before members for final approval.
This contract will have to be presented to the membership in its entirety so that they can read the fine print, and everybody will have to decide individually how it impacts themselves and their family. And if it's good for them, vote yes. If it's not good for them, let's go back to the negotiation table and see if we can hammer some things out.
And you can hear the full interview with the UPS Teamsters Union on WMNF.org. In 2018, voters in Florida approved a constitutional amendment that was supposed to allow most felons to regain their voting rights after they had finished their sentences, but now it's unclear who is and is not eligible. A new lawsuit asks for a statewide database to clarify so that people don't mistakenly vote if they're not allowed. Stetson University College of Law professor Chara Torres-Spelisi was a guest yesterday on WMNF's Tuesday Cafe.
I think judges are going to be very sympathetic to this, as in, I think they will require Florida to make such a database. One, it's sort of nuts that Florida can't keep track of the fees and fines that are owed to it. That just seems fiscally unprudent. But it's also impacting people's fundamental rights here. If you can't prove that you have a zero balance, that will deter individuals, even if they do have a zero balance, from voting. And that changes who the electorate is.
That's Stetson Law professor Chara Torres-Spelisi speaking yesterday on WMNF's Tuesday Cafe. You can watch the full interview on our website, WMNF.org. President Donald Trump has already been indicted 2 times, once on charges in New York and once on federal charges in Florida. But Trump says he received a target letter that he might face a 3rd indictment. This one might involve federal charges related to attempting to derail the transfer of presidential power after Trump lost the 2020 election. Stetson University College of Law professor Chara Torres-Spelisi tells the WMNF Tuesday Cafe that this indictment could be the worst of the 3 for the former president.
There are so many potential crimes here. This, I think, is the big enchilada with Jack Smith looking at Trump's role leading up to January 6th and then on January 6th itself. So the reason why I say there are so many potential crimes is there were sort of crime after crime after crime between January 6th and the previous election in November. So one of the things that they are likely looking at is this effort to pressure states, governors, elections officials to either reject votes for Joe Biden or manufacture votes for Donald Trump. The clearest example of this is in Georgia, where we've all heard the tape where Trump asks for a specific number of votes to be manufactured on his behalf. And the precise number that he gives is 1 vote more than Joe Biden got in the state of Georgia. Now, fortunately, I think for all of us, the Georgia officials, number 1, didn't manufacture votes for him. And then number 2, they released that tape publicly so that the entire world could hear it.
That's Stetson Law professor Chara Torres-Spelisi speaking yesterday on WMNF's Tuesday Cafe. You can watch the full interview on our website, WMNF.org. The water temperature on the tip of Florida hit hot tub levels exceeding 100 degrees 2 days in a row, which meteorologists say could potentially be the hottest seawater ever measured. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says weather records for seawater temperature are unofficial, but the initial reading on a buoy at Manatee Bay hit 101.1 degrees Monday evening. And just 26 miles away, scientists saw devastating effects from prolonged hot water surrounding Florida, coral bleaching, and some death. The Tampa Bay Times reports Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign has laid off more than one-third of its staff. The campaign confirmed to the Miami Herald, part of an additional cost-cutting measure from the governor. DeSantis officials argue the layoffs are a sign the campaign is taking necessary steps to win the presidential primary only 2 months after starting the campaign. But the news adds to doubts among many Republicans in the governor's capacity to maintain a campaign capable of beating former President Donald Trump. He's the Republican primary's frontrunner for 2024. Donald Trump sent a press release to supporters last night entitled "Fox News Mourns the Loss of DeSantis' 2024 Bid. Trump Keeps Getting Stronger," unquote, which quoted Fox News' Brett Baer in saying, quote, "A third of your campaign staff, we haven't even gotten to August as of yet. There were real concerns by big donors. We were told of the spending, the burn rate, and they were spending a lot of money but not getting a lot of bang for their buck," unquote. For the weather, it's mild and fair in the Tampa Bay area. Highs today in the mid-90s, overnight lows in the mid-70s. Rain expected for about a week starting this afternoon, possibly. I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.